Very good morning to all of you. Good morning and welcome. Friends, in the last session we did discuss something about the wind pressure belt and the wind systems, is not it? I hope that all of you remember whatever we did discussed. I said total earth atmosphere as a whole, if you will see, then we have this type of circulation. This is what we have done in the last session. I said, and based on your participation we have done this. Look at here, from the polar high to the subpolar low, wind is blowing, but it is turning towards right due to the Coriolis effect. I said Coriolis effect is due to the earth rotation. Because of the earth rotation, there is a pseudo force, false force, which tries to modify the direction of the wind, which is towards right in northern hemisphere and left in southern hemisphere, known as Coriolis force or Coriolis effect. Now, here the wind got diverted toward this side right, and here towards this side. Here it is like this. This is the pattern, wind pattern, which you will get in the world. We have this type of wind pattern you have, is not it? This is what we did discussed in the last session. Now, today we will start from this particular pressure belt itself and wind system. So, let us give the caption here, wind system. Wind system. In the last class it was pressure belt. Today's session is about the wind system. Wind system. We know that wind is nothing but flow of air from high to low pressure region to maintain equilibrium. I said to maintain equilibrium, air blows from the high pressure region to the low pressure region called as wind. Okay. Wind have three type of circulation: primary, secondary and tertiary circulation. This wind has three type of circulation: primary circulation, the basic circulation. This wind system are of different type based on this. So, basically they are of the wind circulation of two types. One is the upper air circulation, and second one is surface air circulation. Upper air circulation and surface air circulation. Two types of air circulation you have. Upper air circulation on the upper atmosphere, the circulation in the upper atmosphere, upper air circulation. On the surface you have, this is surface air circulation. So, the wind circulation generally are of two types. So, let me write down here in a box like this. Wind circulation, it can be upper air circulation or surface air circulation. Upper air circulation can be planetary wind, regional wind, local wind. So, I said the wind circulation are of different types. It can be like these two major types. surface air circulation. Surface air circulation, then you have the upper air circulation. Two types you have. Surface air circulation can be of three different types here. One is planetary wind. This is here is regional wind, and third one is the local wind. Upper air में only one, that is the jet stream. Jet stream in the upper air circulation. Again, this planetary wind are of different types. Planetary winds are of three major types: easterlies, westerlies, and the polar easterlies. Polar easterlies. Three types of planetary wind: easterly, westerlies, and polar easterlies. Regional wind is only one, that is monsoon. Monsoon is a regional wind. Local winds are like, land breeze, sea breeze, land breeze and sea breeze. Mountain wind, and valley wind. Mountain wind, valley wind, land breeze, sea breeze. We have Lu, Sirocco, Harmattan, Chinook, Fern. All these are like, this type of So we have wind circulation are of different types. I said different types of wind you are having. Okay, please note down this. Here is a question I got. Before yesterday, we were considering 23.5 degree, 66.5 degree as latitude for considering specific region. But why in considering the pressure belts or temperature distribution are we taking 30 degree, 60 degree these latitudes? The major cause behind this is, क्यों ये करते हैं? क्योंकि the earth is not uniform throughout. There is variation in the distribution of continent and the ocean. in the both the hemisphere. So we have taken this in idealized case, जो हमने लिया है ना idealized case. Okay, this is not the case of, in on an average we have taken of this. It may vary, up and down variation is there of 5 degree, no doubt. A variation होता है, but we have taken up this, actually it should be 23.5 or 66.5, that should be the actually, but because of unequal distribution of continent and the ocean as well as other thermal behavior, we have taken this as 30 degree, 60 degree as the things. It is not 100% correct, but it is one among the assumption that we take. Based on this we are doing this. तो sequence of pressure belt जो है ना इस पास में ही रहेगा pressure belt का, near by that only. For model building, for making a generalization, we have done this. Okay, look at here. This is the wind system, different type of wind circulation I have given. There are a lot more. In local wind we have so many things, but I have given few. Hope you got it. Surface air circulation, upper air circulation. There are two types of wind circulation. Surface air circulation can be planetary. Planetary is throughout the planet on the surface. You have easterlies, westerlies, polar easterlies. Regional wind are like monsoon. Then you have the local winds like land breeze, sea breeze, mountain wind, valley wind, Lu, Sirocco, Harmattan, Chinook, Fawn. So many things are there. Lot more also there, but I have given few of them. Then you have upper air circulation, you have jet stream also. Jet stream is a part of upper air circulation. Okay, so these are certain things you need to see. Very, very important here is, as I just mentioned about this, very, very important. You can see this. Surface, upper air and all. Can you, have you visualized the things now? ये हुआ क्या आप देखते हैं. If it is done, I will go for this. Is it okay? Wind. So we have a different type of wind system. So we will discuss all of these. I have given you a flow chart in which you will get to know the connection between these. So first I will go for the surface air circulation. Upper air we will do later on. That is like jet stream and all we will do. So today at least let me complete this part. क्या है ये planetary wind, and this part if it is possible we will do surface air circulation. Lot of things are there related with this. So as I said, surface air circulation, planetary wind, regional wind and local wind. Let us see now come to the previous. There is another one. Sir, there is only one regional wind or seasonal wind, monsoon. Any other seasonal wind in the world? Regional wind जो है, regional wind में we generally consider this is because this is seasonal, no doubt. Monsoon is a seasonal wind, no doubt, but it covers large region. That's why we call it a regional wind. Okay, consistent to this. We also, for blizzard only, blizzard, some of the author they talk about regional, some of the author they talked about this as a local. Some people they talked about land breeze and sea breeze as regional, but land breeze, sea breeze is generally considered as the local phenomena. So I have done like this. इतना ही करो जितना दिया हूँ. Please do remember this chart at least. And now I will move on to surface air circulation. In the surface air circulation, planetary and regional wind, I will go for the planetary wind in easterly, westerly and polar easterlies. Okay. So let us look at the easterly wind where it is, and westerly then polar easterlies. First I will go for the easterly wind. Easterly wind. Easterly wind. Where is this easterly wind? Remember, the wind which blows in the low latitude they are the easterlies. How it is, let us see. Let us look at the diagram which we have done earlier. इसको ही देखिए. You look at this diagram which we have done earlier. कल जो कराए थे उसको देखते हैं. This one only I'll make it small and let it be like, you know, like this. We have already drawn this, right? In geography, what happened? We use geographical coordinate. I hope you know about this. This is as north, a north है, this is south, this is east, and this one is west. Geo coordinate, you know, direction, you know it. North, south, east, west. Now let us look at this wind here. हम ये wind को देखते हैं. This wind is originating from here, and it is in fact ये यहाँ से originate होकर किधर जा रही है? देखो, this wind is blowing from here toward this side. ऐसे आ रही है ना? This is the wind here. This wind is blowing in this way. So this is here is 0 to 30 degree. In the last class we did discuss this is like, you know, this particular region. This is 0 degree. This is 0 degree, 30 degree north, 30 degree south, 60 degree north, south, and 90 degree south. 60 degree south, north, and there is 90 degree north. This is here is the extent. Now you look at here, this region 30 degree north to equator, a wind is blowing here. Originate from which coordinate? Northeast. This is a northeast coordinate. From northeast it is blowing toward the southwest. Remember, naming of the wind is on the basis of its origin coordinate. Like if a person is from Maharashtra, we said Marathi, from Kashmir, Kashmiri, from Odisha, Odia, Bihar, Bihari, from Bengal, Bengali, we call like this, from Indore, Indori. So likewise, from northeast it is coming, so it is north easterlies wind of northern hemisphere, north hemisphere, north hemisphere. Actually, it is northeasterly wind of north hemisphere. Yes or no? This is the northeasterly wind of north hemisphere. Now look at this point. अब इसको देखते हैं. Here also the same thing. We have this is north, south, east, and west. Now this is originated from where? Here. From this side it is originated and going in which direction? This direction is going. Now this is going in this direction same. देखो, from here only it is also going. Which one is the southeast? This is what? Southeasterly. Here क्या है? South easterlies of wind of south hemisphere. South hemisphere. Southeasterly wind of south hemisphere. Yes or no? This is the south easterly wind of south hemisphere. So this is north easterly wind, this is south easterly wind. Instead of saying so many things, usually north easterly नहीं बोल के क्या बोलेंगे? Easterlies only. North easterly, देखो हम क्या बोल रहे हैं यहाँ? North easterlies of north hemisphere. So we will focus only on the easterlies. Here is only on the westerlies. We are saying like south easterly of south hemisphere. Only easterlies को focus करो. So this is called as the easterlies wind. Here it is called as easterlies. Of northern hemisphere. This equal to easterlies. We call it easterlies. It's easterlies of northern hemisphere or easterlies of southern hemisphere. Easterlies बोलते हैं ना. We call them. They are not exactly easterly. They are called as easterlies of. But generally, general movement of the air is from east to west. So easterlies कहते हैं इसको. So we have an easterlies here. This is an easterlies, and this is also an easterlies. Both the easterlies are meeting where? At the equator. Is not it? Both of them are meeting at the equator. Can you see this? I hope you got it now. Easterlies from north, easterlies from south. Subtropical high pressure region से आते हैं. Remember, this 30-degree latitude is known as horse latitude. 30-degree latitude is called as the horse latitude. Specifically 30-degree north was called as the horse latitude. 30-degree latitude as the horse latitude. Okay, is it clear why the easterlies name is there? It is because the wind in northern hemisphere blowing from northeasterly toward the southwest. In southern hemisphere, southeasterly toward the northwest. So it is like this, they are flowing. So that's why this is the name of the wind as easterlies wind. Easterlies wind in both the hemisphere you have. Now, what is the characteristics of this wind now? If it is easterlies, now same way we have also easterlies here also, but this is from the pole it is coming. So it is called as the polar easterlies. क्या कहते हैं उसको? Polar easterlies. This is also the polar easterlies. ये भी पोलर ईस्टर्लीज है, ये भी पोलर ईस्टर्लीज है. Can you see these two? Polar easterlies you are getting finally the polar easterlies here. Polar easterlies. If you remember in the last class I did completed this. From the diagram which we have done in the last class, I have just derived this. Okay. देखो आप, so what is the impact of this easterlies on other system? Let us see now. So you tell me one thing. If one continent is present here, at this region there is a continent. Let us say here is a continent. ये एक continent है. Now this side of the continent is, this side is east or west? This side is east, this side is west. Now you tell me in this continent which part will have more impact of the easterlies? बताओ. Let me draw this. बोलो which part of the continent will have more impact? Let us say here is a continent, okay. ये एक कॉन्टिनेंट है, लेट दिस इज ए कॉन्टिनेंट. Tell me, if this is a continent here, ये एक कॉन्टिनेंट है, like this. Which part of the continent will have more? Which part of the continent will have more impact? Okay, now I got your response. Thank you. Sir, both 30° north and 30° south as horse latitude. See, practically it was taken up 30° north, but we can consider both, because in UPSC they have asked 30°. So, I will say it is, but in real sense it should be 30° north only. Okay, then I got clarification that both you can do. First instance was from 30° north. Polar stellage, repeat again. Polar stellage I said, okay, from the pole से आ रहा है ना ये हवा, पोल से. देखो ये ईस्टर्ली जैसा ही है, बिकॉज इट इज ऑल्सो नॉर्थ ईस्टर्लीज. नॉर्थ ईस्टर्लीज, नॉर्थ में क्या है, पोल है, सो पोलर ईस्टर्लीज हो गया वो. ठीक है. सो एज यू सेड ईस्टर्न पार्ट विल बी गेट मोर. सी हियर, ईस्टर्न पार्ट विल हैव मोर इम्पैक्ट हियर इन दिस केस. देखो, ईस्टर्न पार्ट विल हैव मोर इम्पैक्ट हियर. ईस्टर्न पार्ट विल हैव मोर इम्पैक्ट हियर. यस और नो? सो eastern part of the tropical continent generally get influenced by the easterly wind. So देखते हैं easterly wind के बारे में देखते हैं फिर again. Let us see now about easterly wind. First point I will say, it blows from the subtropical high pressure belt to the equatorial low in both the hemisphere. In both the hemisphere, it blows from the subtropical high pressure belt to the equatorial low in both the hemisphere. Okay, next point. The eastern coast of the tropical region or tropical continents receives more rainfall than the western coast. The eastern coast of the tropical continent receives more rainfall than the western coast. Again one question, sir, why at 30° and 60° the wind direction is varying? Check out why. I told you there will be wind always blow from high to low pressure. So देखो कहाँ high है कहाँ low pressure है, and why it is going towards right in northern hemisphere, right in southern hemisphere. Don't think about any other thing. You put that principle here. If it is towards right, check out here how it is. नहीं समझ में आया क्या? Why towards right here? I told you from the high pressure. This is the low pressure here. याद है ना आपको? कल क्या किया आपने? This is low pressure. This is high pressure. This is low pressure. This is high pressure. This is low pressure. This is high pressure. Here also this is also high pressure. High low like this. High to low pressure wind will blow. और नॉर्दर्न हेमिस्फीयर में राइट की तरफ देखो ये आ रहे थे राइट की तरफ. कल तो आप लोग बताया था ना, इन द लास्ट क्लास यू पीपल टोल्ड मी. डू यू रिमेंबर दैट? हाउ यू आर फॉरगेटिंग माय डियर? लुक एट दिस. इसीलिए तो स्टेप बाय स्टेप किया. आई हैव सेव्ड दिस डायग्राम, सेम डायग्राम व्हिच आई हैव डन इन द लास्ट क्लास. आई हैवंट मॉडिफाइड एनीथिंग. I hope you got it where is the easterly wind. And now as I said, at the east coast of the tropical continent, I said more rainfall. देखो, from the ocean, if it is a continent, here is the ocean. From ocean to continent, if the wind is coming, and you have tropical area, I mean high temperature. Temperature is more in this 0 to 30 degree, you know it. 0 to 30 degree temperature is more. In the ocean, there will be evaporation will be more, and the wind is coming towards the continent. So definitely there will be rainfall here. Yes or no? So that's why I have written here, the eastern coast of the tropical continent receives more rainfall than the western coast. Eastern coast will receive more rainfall than the western coast. Why? Because at the western coast they will release the moisture. While it reaches the western coast, it will be very late. देखो ना, ये ईस्ट कोस्ट है. यहाँ आते आते क्या होगा? यहाँ पे ये कॉन्टिनेंट के ऊपर है वेस्ट कोस्ट. विल दे गिव रेनफॉल? ये तो ये भाई कॉन्टिनेंट से जा रहे हैं ना. ये दिस विंड इज गोइंग फ्रॉम द कॉन्टिनेंट्स. आप देखो ये. So here also the wind will blow in this way. This region is a low pressure area. This is low pressure area. So here you have more and more rainfall. Intensity of rainfall decreases from east to west. Yes or no? So for that region, you know, for that region only you have, like as I have just mentioned about the African part in the last class also. Okay, here what will happen here, that this is, in this case, the high pressure belt is somewhere here. This is also a high pressure belt here. Now wind will blow here. You tell me one thing, this is the cause for, देखो यहाँ पे, from the continental part you are getting this wind, from the continental part you are getting this wind, and here also a mountain is there. Which mountain? Here also a hill like structure also there here. So you have rain shadow. This leads to the formation of, here is desert known as Namib Desert. Another one is Kalahari Desert. Kalahari. Kalahari. This is the desert known as Namib Desert. Namib Desert and Kalahari Desert. Two deserts are there. For that reason, the deserts are found in the western part of the continent. Yes, that is one among the region. Now look at this site. This side also have a huge desert here. Because of that reason only you have a desert here. I hope you know about this. Got it? Now, this leads to the formation of the desert here. Desert का क्या नाम? ये है Sahara Desert. See here, these deserts are located because of this cause only, and this side you have rainfall is more rainfall. This side you have the more rainfall. यहाँ पे, here you have the more rainfall. More rainfall. More rainfall. More rainfall. But here it is dry. This is dry condition, isn't it? Western coast is dry, that's why eastern coast is more rainfall. See here, this is because of the easterly wind. Any continent you take, all the continents, anywhere, wherever you will go, you will find out this. Almost all the continents have the same thing. So easterly wind is responsible here, and it impacts the climate of different region also. It impacts the climate of different region. Okay, is it clear to you? Done. My friends, this easterly wind influence the climate of low latitude, मतलब 30 degree to 0 degree in between. It influences the climate of the low latitude. Let me tell you certain things about the climate also. इसके साथ मैं एक climate का बात करता हूँ. How the climatic region of different world we generally named. आपको आज केवल नाम बताऊंगा and characteristics I am not going to say. Just name. Characteristics later on we will discuss. Let us see how the wind pattern also they influence this climatic type. Let us say this is a continent. Okay, ये एक continent है and this continent is extending from 0 degree, that is the equator, to 90 degree. Let us say this is a continent here. This is 0 degree, 10 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree. Okay, I said this is 0 degree equator, 10 degree, 30 degree latitude, 45 degree latitude, (60° latitude and 90° latitude. Let us like this. Let us do like this. Okay. In this case, 0 to 10, 30, 45, 60, 90. This is the here different latitude I have just given. Then the area, as you know, from equator to the pole, if you will see, there is a change in temperature. Look at here. This region here is tropical region. I told you earlier, tropical region. This is here is temperate region. This is here is polar region. So here you have generally hot, tropical is hot, generally it is the hot area, hot tropical. Very high temperature you will get, so it is hot tropical. This is warm temperate, cool temperate, and you have the cold polar. Okay, ये पूरे रहेंगे ऐसे cold polar regions. I hope you got it now. Hot, warm, cool, cold. Hot, warm, cool, cold. From the equator toward the pole, if you will go, this is like, differences will be there. Temperature difference will be there. At the equator, you have hot, warm, cool, cold. hot, warm, cool, cold. Temperature goes on decreasing with this. So, we have like this. Let us see now the regions near the equator. What is this? This region is known as the equator, hot and wet. Equatorial climate here. Equatorial climatic region here. Hot, wet, equatorial climate you will find out in these regions 0 to 10 degree. And here you have the cold polar climate. Cold polar climate. So, this is here is equatorial, here it is ट्रॉपिकल, ऐसे कहा जाता है ट्रॉपिकल और इक्वेटोरियल ऐसे हॉट ट्रॉपिकल and this is equatorial. I have already written tropics, so tropical will be is okay. अगर एक कॉन्टिनेंट हम बड़ा सा ले लेते हैं, let us say this box is a continent from the equator to the pole, we will have like this type of cases. My friend, someone is saying Benguela current in the west part, warm current नहीं है, ये cold current है Benguela, first thing. Okay, you are wrong here, please rectify. It may create humid regions, no, it will never create humid, it is cold and dry. But sir, why Sahara Desert lies in western part of Africa? I will explain that, मैं बताऊंगा, just wait. We will get it. Now, this is clear. So, whenever at the equatorial region you will see consistently high temperature throughout their equatorial climate, the pole you have cold polar area. In between, let us say this is a continent which is extending from 0 to 90 degree, one hemisphere I have taken. Now, let me tell you, let me divide it like up to this point here, there is a influence of coastal area is up to here. Here is coastal area, let us say these are, I divide this into this type, okay. In fact, there are how many type of climate in the world? 11 type. देखो कितना बॉक्स है, 11 बॉक्स है ना, 11 type of climate. Major climatic regions of the world. Desert related things we will discuss, my dear. Dankali Desert is formed in Ethiopia in the eastern coast because of cold current there, which called Somali cold current. Okay, I'll come to that. Control. आगे आऊँगा ना, questions I'll take all of your questions, don't worry. So here you see that this region, to know about this, how to memorize this, let me do one thing. ये कैसे memorize करेंगे आप लोग? Memorization के लिए I will say, give a trick here. You have done your LCM in class 6, 7th, 8th. LCM, you remember this? Okay. This is Laurentia. This is China type. This is monsoon type. Laurentia, China and monsoon. Three things I said. LCM. One thing again you remember, this part here, this region and this region, अगर हम इसको देखेंगे इसे, तो ये जो रीजन्स है, अगर कॉन्टिनेंट है तो राइट साइड विल बी द ईस्टर्न कोस्ट, तो ईस्टर्न मार्जिन होगा, ईस्टर्न मार्जिन. Left side will be western margin. This is here is central part, central continental part, Central continental part. Three things I said. All these three boxes are in eastern margin. All these three in western margin. In between central continental. मैंने कहा LCM. Laurentia, China and monsoon. Always these three type of climate you will find in the eastern part of the continent, eastern margin, between the definite latitude here. Monsoon always 10 to 30 degree. China type 30 to 45 degree. Laurentia 45 to 60 degree. In general you will get like this. My friends, I studied in the School of Social Sciences, SSS. याद होगा ये, you remember, this is Siberian climate, this is steppe type of climate, this one is savanna type of climate, SSS. In the world, wherever you will go, you will find definitely the Siberian climate between 45 to 60 degree, steppe climate 30 to 45 degree and savanna climate 10 to 30 degree. I am giving you this to correlate the pressure belt wind system with this. Okay, you remember, I am not diverting. Remember here. Why I am giving? You just remember this climatic name because you are completely new, you do not have any idea. You know my name? Okay, you don't know. Fine. I am BM. In North India, people says panda. Panda नहीं है, panda है. BM hot. Do you remember this? British. Mediterranean. Mediterranean climate. Hot desert climate. British, Mediterranean and hot desert. पहले देखो तो यार, you are asking question. Tropic of Cancer crosses Sahara. So what? Then how is it possible to have high pressure in 30 degree north in Africa? Check out the latitude. Is 30 degrees there or not? Is there any restriction if there is a Tropic of Cancer or Tropic of Capricorn somewhere, then there will be no high pressure. High pressure is there, I told you, at the 30 to 23.5 30 degree. How does easterly wind blow? Look at here carefully. देखो आप पहले, ये मैं इसीलिए दिया this climatic type because you are asking desert. देखो ये hot desert, this is here hot desert. Why and how it is impacting the air pressure? That's what I want to give you here. Hot desert, Mediterranean, British climate. You will say, sir, Mediterranean Sea has this type. So that's why I have given this first. 11 type of climatic type you have. 11 major climatic type. Can you able to first memorize the things? My friends, आप पहले देखो इसको तो याद करो इसको. Sequencing of the climatic type. Always in the low latitude किसको बोलते हैं? 0 to 30 degree low latitude. High latitude 60 to 90 degree. Mid latitude 30 to 60 degree. Low latitude climate, monsoon, savanna, hot desert, equatorial climate. High latitude, cold polar climate. Mid latitude climate, British, Siberia, Laurentia, Mediterranean, steppe, China. 6 type of climate are mid latitude climate. Now, all these climates are a gift of this pressure belt and wind system. As I was talking about the easterly wind, the easterly wind is influencing 30 degree मैंने कहा था ना. Look at here, the easterly wind is at 30 degree I told you. So 30 degree you have here at 30 degree which pressure belt? High pressure belt. This let me tell you a high pressure belt. इट इज हाई प्रेशर बेल्ट, H लिख देता हूं, हाई, दिस इज हाई प्रेशर बेल्ट, H is high pressure belt, okay, and here it is in the lower part we have the low pressure belt. Here at the equatorial low we have the low pressure belt, here we have the low pressure belt. So wind will blow from high to low, low pressure belt here, okay. So wind will blow from the high to low pressure belt. See here how it will be, how it will be. Now look at here, tell me what are the climates influenced by this easterly wind. Look at here, what are the climates received or influenced by the easterly wind? Monsoon, savanna and hot desert, yes or no? Monsoon, savanna and hot desert. So easterly wind will give, it is coming from, if it is a continent here, this side is ocean, this side is the ocean. ये idealized format में लिया हूँ. You take this and look at even Africa, South America, any continent. आप लेके देखो आप, the sequence of climate will be like this. Climate की sequence ऐसे ही होंगे. The climatic region sequence will be like this only. So high pressure to low pressure wind is blowing, and this easterly wind is influencing monsoon. More rainfall in the monsoon in these regions because of its impact of the ocean. Savanna you have Mediterranean, savanna regions you have moderate rainfall, and hot deserts have no rainfall at all, because you are having, mostly it is influenced by the dry easterly wind. ये continent से आ रही है dry easterly wind. I hope now it is clear to you. Just to explain this, I have given this diagram. Monsoon, savanna and hot desert type of climates are greatly affected by the easterly wind system. The easterly wind system. आपको क्या ये याद हुआ क्या? Have you done this? Yes. Clear? Difficult है क्या? You are asking Tropic of Cancer, highest temperature, that's why maybe you are asking like this. Remember, average position of the sun is on the equator, you imagine it here. It is here at the equator. Try to memorize this. Now I want to interact with you, just wait. If it is done, please tell me, cool temperate western margin climate which one? Cool temperate western margin climate, बताओ, इसको देख के नहीं, चलो, मैं कहा cool temperate western margin climate. Tell me which is western margin. Which climate is this? Cool temperate western margin. Please tell me, which climate is cool temperate western margin climate? You tell me. Come on. Look at here. This is here is warm, cool, temperate, western margin. कौन सा climate है? British climate. You got it? Cool, temperate, western margin, British climate. Warm, temperate, central continental. Which climate? Steppe climate. Steppe climate. What is the alternate name of monsoon climate? Alternate name of monsoon. Can anyone tell me? Alternate name of monsoon. Monsoon climate. Alternate name. Monsoon climate alternate name. What will be the alternate name of monsoon? No question, no answer from you. Monsoon climate. Alternate name of monsoon will be hot tropical eastern margin. You can see this. Monsoon is here. Hot tropical eastern margin climate. Hot tropical eastern margin climate. You remember this box. I will use this for climatic classification subsequently. ओके मैं आपको ये सब जो है ना आगे फुल्ली काम में आएगा ये. All these things will help us on understanding subsequently lot of things. In the world you look at wherever British climate, western margin tropical, cool temperate, western margin British, cool temperate central Siberian, cool temperate eastern margin Laurentia. आपने ये सब देखा था कहीं पे? ओके बिकॉज टुडे इन दिस स्ट्रेच आई हैव माई लास्ट क्लास टुडे. मैं आपको एक चीज बताऊं. हैव यू एवर सीन दैट दिस इज चैप्टर नंबर 15 ऑफ योर जीसी लियांग हॉट ट्रॉपिकल. दिस इज चैप्टर नंबर 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 and 25. Chapter number 25. Chapter number 15 to 25 of G.C. Liang. One box, one chapter. Have you ever seen this? I have referred one basic book to all of you. That is Go Cheng Liang, Certificate Physical and Human Geography. Read this chapter in between. आपको जब भी ब्रेक मिलेगा ना अभी उस टाइम पे पढ़ लेना. आफ्टर दैट ब्रेक नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन आई विल गो फॉर ज्योग्राफी एट दैट टाइम आई विल स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर. यू सी दिस very nicely given in your booklet. If you have your book you can see G.C. Liang, you will see this all these things. What I am saying is each of these climatic type I will discuss in detail, but today as I said I am talking about the climate, that is wind system. Easterly wind influence which climate? Monsoon, savanna, hot desert and hot wet equatorial climate. Hot wet equatorial climate. So let us see now. The eastern coast of the tropical continent receives more rainfall than the western coast. Next point is the easterlies wind. The easterlies wind influences the climate of low latitude region. Namely, what are those? Namely, hot, wet, equatorial climate, hot, wet, equatorial climate, then monsoon, then savanna, and which one? Hot desert climate of the world. Yeah. So easterly wind is influencing the climate of low latitude region. I said namely it is hot, wet, equatorial climate, monsoon climate, savanna climate, hot desert climate. All these climates are being influenced by these easterly wind. I have given you the diagram and tried to tell you how they are influenced because of their location. I said, isn't it? Because of their location. You see here, monsoon, savanna, hot desert, hot wet equatorial climate. मैं अभी hot desert कैसे बनता है नहीं बोला हूँ. I haven't discussed about the hot desert, how it develop, how the monsoon occurs, how the savanna is there. We will discuss this gradually. Wait for that moment. And the hot desert, you will not have any question on this, I know, when I will discuss this. I am not discussing now the climatic region. I am discussing only the wind system. So because of this, you know, I have just given these points. So the easterly wind influences the climate of low latitude regions and namely it is hot, wet equatorial climate, monsoon climate, savanna climate, hot desert climatic type. Another point, remember this is like, you know, the monsoon is a modified easterly wind. Monsoon is a modified easterly wind. Monsoon is a modified easterly wind. कैसे है आगे monsoon में देखेंगे, but you see because of this easterly only you have the what? Because of the easterly wind system only the monsoon is possible. Monsoon is a modified easterly wind. Yes, it is true. Monsoon also, yeah, it's very, very important. Very, very important it is. Okay. Monsoon is a modified easterly wind system. Right. I will go for now the next. I hope it is clear to all of you. ये 3 पॉइंट या 4 पॉइंट तो याद हो जाएगा. All of you got it. These 3 or 4 points. Clear है? Easterlies. Now I will go for the polar easterly wind. Polar easterly you see. The polar easterly also same way influence the eastern coast, but because it is coming from the polar area, it in fact brings lot of cold wave. It brings cold wave. So it influence which climate then? यहाँ पे कौन सा climate है? This is influencing from the high pressure, polar high pressure it is coming, isn't it? The wind which is there is polar high pressure is there, polar high. This is the high pressure polar high to the low pressure condition where it is subpolar low. Wind will blow in this direction. Wind will blow in this direction here. So it brings what? Cold wave. It brings cold wave. Cold wave it will bring. Cold air mass it will bring, which is called as blizzard. Cold wave, blizzard like. Very cold wave, intense cold wave it will bring to this cold, these regions. High latitude climate is greatly influenced by the polar easterlies wind. This is polar easterlies. Polar easterlies influence only cold polar regions. Okay, so it influence only the cold polar regions. Isn't it? It influence only the cold polar regions. So I will go for the next one. Polar easterlies wind. Polar easterlies wind. Polar easterlies wind, it is influenced by what? This is influenced by, it blows from the polar high to subpolar low pressure belt. Low pressure belt. Polar high to subpolar low pressure belt. Another point, blows from the polar high to subpolar low, polar easterlies. It brings intense cold wave, from the polar region to the, from the pole to the subtropical area, subtropical zone. Blizzard became more stronger because blizzard became more stronger. And what is there in the ocean? If you look at, this is bringing, it also brings huge iceberg and cold oceanic currents, towards the mid latitude, It also brings huge iceberg, you know, huge icebergs and cold oceanic currents towards the mid latitude from the poles. From the polar region, it brings lot of iceberg. It means intense cold wave from the polar region to the subtropical, subpolar होगा, ठीक है, थैंक यू, subpolar होगा ये, थैंक यू, subpolar zone, okay. Subpolar, thank you very much, subpolar, by mistake I have written, please rectify that, subpolar region. It brings intense cold wave from the polar region to subpolar zone. Blizzard became more stronger. It brings huge iceberg and cold oceanic current toward the mid latitude from the poles. Okay. Hope you got it. So, the cold oceanic current which you are getting mostly is because of the what? Due to the stronger polar wind. You know about, you have seen Titanic, accident of Titanic was here because of the cold. You see, this is here is the North Atlantic. In the North Atlantic, this region, from this side, the polar wind, the Labrador current, oceanic current, cold current brought lot of iceberg. The Labrador current also, that's why called as the mother of the iceberg. Lot of iceberg it brings. Labrador cold current here. It brings lot of iceberg toward this side in the Atlantic Ocean. And here you have the accident of Titanic because of the iceberg. Iceberg is very hazardous to navigate in these regions. Okay, I hope you got some idea now about this. So, I said how the easterlies and polar easterlies, they influence the climatic type of different regions. I just tried to give you some idea. Now, we will go for another wind. The wind is called as westerlies wind. You remember that? Westerlies. These winds, westerlies, कैसे westerlies होगा देखिए. देखो how it is the westerlies wind. Let us see now. Let us go to this same diagram now. Now, in this case, the wind is blowing from here, you see, from here to this side. देख रहे हैं? The wind is here blowing from where to here. Look at that. The wind is in this case is blowing from here, subtropical high to like this. ऐसे जा रहे हैं ना? Yes. Here it is like this. ये देखो ऐसे जा रही है. Now it is coming towards south. Here it is going towards north. Both the cases you see, here it is from southwest, southwesterly wind. Actually it is southwesterly, southwest. ये कोऑर्डिनेट क्या है? Southwest. So it is known as only westerlies. Westerlies wind. This is westerlies. Here is from, देखो ये देखो और ये देखो, direction from northwest. So it is also called as the westerlies. Westerlies wind. Westerlies of both the hemisphere. Westerlies is blowing from 30 to 60 degree. From subtropical high to subpolar low. The westerlies are blowing from subtropical high to subpolar low. Westerlies wind are blowing from subtropical high to subpolar low. Let us see now. In this we can look at again. Westerlies wind. First point is it blows from the subtropical high to the subpolar low pressure belt between 30 degree to 60 degree latitudes. 30 to 60 degree latitude in both the hemisphere. In both the hemisphere you have 30 to 60 degree latitude, you are getting this. in both the hemisphere. Okay. I said westerlies wind blows from westerlies wind, they are blowing from the subtropical high to the subpolar low pressure belts between 30 to 60 degree in both the hemisphere, and you can see that how they are influencing the climatic type of different regions. How they are influencing the climate of different regions. Let us see now. Let us look at here. If I will go for this wind, how it blows, look at here. So, it is influencing which climate now? See here, it is influencing the British and Mediterranean, both type of climate. British and Mediterranean, both climate are being influenced by this pressure belt, both British and Mediterranean. Both British and Mediterranean type of climate, they are being influenced by. At this coast, British Mediterranean, this is Steppe and Siberia, Laurentia and China. 6 type of climate they are getting influenced by. 6 type of climate getting influenced by these westerly wind system. Again I am saying there are 6 different types of climate. They are influenced by the westerly wind, British type, Mediterranean type, Siberian, Steppe, Laurentia and China type. All the 6 type of climate they are influenced by. They are influenced by what? The westerly wind. You see that from the ocean, if they are, it is blowing from the ocean towards the coast here. So, there marine influence you are having, and there is seasonal differences in this. Why seasonal difference? The seasonal difference in this due to the apparent movement of the sun. What is the region for the direction of westerlies from northwest to southwest direction? Northwest to southwest. Southwest, northwest, northwest to southeast होगा, southwest to northeast होगा direction. Because of Coriolis force, I told you, due to the Coriolis force, the change in the direction is due to Coriolis effect. Don't you remember that? कल एक बताया था मैं, if you are throwing the ball, how it will go. मेरी गो अराउंड याद है? You remember that? So if you throw a ball straight, then you will not able to get it directly, because if something is rotating, even if you fall straight, it will, the concerned person will not get it, nearby person will get that. That's what I told you in the last class, if you remember. Westerlies wind or any wind will get divert from the normal path primarily because of the impact of the Coriolis force. Coriolis force plays an important role on this. Coriolis force plays an important role on this, right? So this is what is the major cause behind the direction of movement of this, okay? I hope you remember that. Okay, my dear, you got it. Region behind direction of westerly from northwest, southwest, where you have this is given. It's because of the the impact of the Coriolis effect, Coriolis force, right? Hope it is clear to all of you. Yes or no? You got it, all of you? Now, again I will move on to the point here, what we have written in the westerlies. It blows from the subtropical high pressure to subpolar low pressure belt between 30 to 60 degree in both the hemisphere. Westerlies wind influences the climate of what? Temperate zone, namely what are those? In temperate zone, what are those? Namely, you have one very important climate here. It is British climate, British Mediterranean, Siberian and steppe. Laurentia and China type. British, Mediterranean, Siberian, steppe, Laurentia, China. All the 6 type of climate, they are influenced by the westerly wind system. All these 6. Here is a question I got. Is oceanic current the region roaring 40 ocean current occurs only in the southern hemisphere? No, ocean currents are in southern hemisphere very strong, no doubt. In southern hemisphere, westerlies are very strong because there is less continental part. So they have different name. I will come to that one. How Delhi and Ladakh region is affected by westerlies in winter? Because of shifting of the ITCZ, shifting of the position of the sun. हम आगे डिस्कस करेंगे how it is. During the monsoon I will discuss how it is. Every topic is interrelated. Farrell's law नहीं, Farrell's law होगा. Coriolis force, Farrell's law usually define or apply the Coriolis force. Farrell's law apply the Coriolis force. मैंने कल in the last class all of you have participated and given me the answer. I haven't got any question. Today I am getting like there is I think bit of confusion in you regarding the Coriolis force. If you need this again I can explain if needed. After the break we can have this. Okay. Let me see that. If you need repetition we will go for that. Climatic characteristics I will do later on. I told you I am discussing only about this wind system first. Climatic characteristics we will do later on. Hey, inside the classroom while you are studying, please concentrate on your screen only. Okay, don't divert. I think there is a diversion on your part even. The type of question which I said I am only discussing about the wind system. In the wind system, how the climate is being influenced. To know about this, I just gave you that block. Climatic region will be discussed separately, each of them. I told you earlier also. Right. So, westerly wind influences the climate of temperate zone, namely British climate, Mediterranean climate, Siberian, steppe, Laurentia and China type, all types of climate. These climates will be discussed subsequently. These are the climatic type which are discussed, which we will discuss later on. In the coming session, we will have this Mediterranean, British, Steppe, Siberia, Laurentia, China. Can you see this? These 6 type of climates are being, they are influenced by, all these 6 type of climates here is influenced by what? This westerly wind. By the westerly wind they are influenced. All these climates are influenced by the westerly wind system. 6 climatic type I said. Hope you got it. Okay. Once it is done, we can have like the comparative analysis of this particular westerly wind. If you will see, let us look at westerly wind. Westerly winds are very strong in the southern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere. Westerly winds are very strong in the southern hemisphere due to the presence of the open ocean, or you can say less continental area, due to the less continental area. Westerly winds are very strong in the southern hemisphere due to the presence of the open ocean, that is less continental area. And that is why it has different name. Velocity is very high, so different name. At 40 degrees south, roaring 40s. At 50 degrees south, furious 50s. At 60 degrees south, shrieking 60s, or also known as screaming 60s. Screaming 60, shrieking 60s, furious, these are like 40, 50, 60 degree. So 30 degree latitude, I told you, this is called as what? Horse latitude. 40 degrees south, roaring 40s, 50 degrees south, furious 50s, 60 degrees, shrieking 60s or screaming 60s. What are the characteristics of this? Why it is so, in many cases we have seen that this particular zone, this particular region have the very strong ocean current also. Ocean current is very strong. The major cause for this one is the strongest, we can say very, very strong westerly wind system. Very, very strong westerly wind system. Okay. Due to the presence of very strong westerly wind system, the here these the ocean current also very strong, where we have west wind drift, it is called as. I will explain in the oceanography part and later on about the ocean currents. So you got some idea about this region. So the planetary winds, these are very, very important, and these winds, as you have seen, are influencing, these planetary winds are influencing the climates here like this: British, Mediterranean, Siberia, Steppe and Laurentia, China. This is something about the planetary winds you got. Now I will move on to the monsoon, regional wind. regional wind. Next point is your regional wind. You see, so I think it is clear to all of you. All of you have clarity on now easterly, westerly, polar easterly, all the planetary wind. Yes, have you done? सबको समझ में आया कि नहीं बताओ? Whether you got it or not, tell me. Trade wind is a type of easterlies or both are same? Same. The easterly wind blows consistently. So it is also known as the trade wind. Another point, you know, the meeting place of easterly from both the hemisphere is known as the meeting place of easterlies from both the hemisphere. It is known as zone of doldrum. Doldrum zone. क्या कहते हैं उसको? Doldrum. You see here. In this region, you have easterlies from both. They are meeting here. ये सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई है, ये भी सब ट्रॉपिकल हाई है. In between you have the equatorial region is here. This is the equator. 0 degree equator. Here the wind from both the sides. Easterlies from here. They are meeting here. So here is a silent zone it develops. What is that? A silent zone develops. This is known as the doldrum. Doldrum. What is this doldrum? डोल्ड्रम होता क्या है? A silent zone between the convergence point of both the easterly wind, the trade wind from both the hemisphere. This is the easterlies or trade wind. This is also the easterlies or trade wind. Easterlies or trade winds from both the hemisphere, they meet here. Okay. See, both are meeting from both the hemisphere, and you know there will be convectional instability, no doubt. But you know that here Coriolis force to twist the things is very low. There is almost absence of Coriolis effect. Coriolis effect nahi hai. Modifying effect of this is not there, because the Coriolis force is 0 here. There will be no twisting of the air. Air twist नहीं होगा. Disturbances will be less. So they are coming, converging and gradually rising. Gradual rise होगा. Comparatively calm in the sense silent as compared to the nearby area, because twisting of air is very less. Air will not twist there. Changes नहीं होंगे air की direction. Now what happened? ये हो गया आपका डोल्ड्रम सिचुएशन. बट रिमेंबर I told you, or you have already discussed about this, like, you know, this is 23.5 degree north, this is 23.5 degree south. Okay, this is 23.5 degree south, 23.5 degree north, up to which the sun can move from here to here. The sun can travel from 23.5 degree south to 23.5 degree north. Okay, apparent movement of the sun is there. So what happened because of this? Very interestingly, because of this, ये देखो, here this leads to, ये sun है, यहाँ से यहाँ जाएगा. From here the sun will go up to, come up to here. So 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south it will move. With this doldrum belt also will move up and down. This is known as the ITCZ. What is that? Intertropical Convergence Zone. It is the Intertropical Convergence Zone. Note down here. The shifting zone of convergence, the shifting zone of convergence of easterlies from both the hemisphere, the shifting zone entire is known as ITCZ, Intertropical Convergence Zone. Doldrum is a phenomena occurs in these regions. Doldrum is a phenomena. Doldrum is a phenomena, but ITCZ is a zone, Intertropical Convergence Zone. Okay, Intertropical Convergence Zone, ITCZ. Okay, so now with the apparent movement of the sun, this may go up and it may come down. So ये जो आपको बताऊं, the monsoon is primarily because of the shifting of ITCZ. The monsoon is primarily due to shifting of the ITCZ. The monsoon is primarily due to shifting of the ITCZ. Okay. So we are going to discuss about the monsoon now. I hope you got it. Regarding this again in detail we will have in the monsoon again, in the monsoonal phenomena, how and why it is shifting. I just said shifting of this position of the sun with respect to time leads to shifting of the doldrum belt, and this entire shifting zone is known as the ITCZ, Intertropical Convergence Zone. This zone, where from the Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, Capricorn to the Cancer, it shifts with respect to the movement of the sun itself, the apparent movement of the sun from 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south, and 23.5 degree south to again to the north. So this type of movement of this entire zone is there. So Intertropical Convergence Zone, ITCZ, it is a zone, a silent zone, a converging zone of easterly from both the hemisphere, but the shifting zone from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn and Capricorn to Cancer again. And during this time, this type of shifting phase itself, there are different weather and climatic phenomena. One such phenomena is monsoon. Monsoon is a modified monsoon. Possible is because of the shifting of the ITCZ. Okay, shifting of the ITCZ. So I will go for now next one as I said monsoon. Regional wind. Regional wind is I said monsoon. Okay, we will discuss about this. I said that monsoon is a wind system. Climate, I told you, monsoon climate you are finding where? 10 to 30 degree latitude. Sir, when 21st June the ITCZ is on the Tropic of Cancer, there will be any change of doldrum zone. My friend, doldrum is a phenomena I said at the ITCZ I said. Doldrum जो होता है ना और ITCZ के साथ साथ हो जाएगा. Doldrum जो है ना the phenomena, silent phenomena जो रहता है, that is okay. That is what is the doldrum and zone of shifting zone is known as I said shifting zone, Intertropical Convergence Zone. zone of shifting is ITCZ. Again we will see in this, I will give example of this one how it is in the regional wind, that is monsoon. I said that monsoon, I will go for the monsoonal circulation, we will see. Monsoon is a regional wind associated with seasonal reversal of the wind system. A regional wind associated with seasonal reversal of the wind system, seasonal reversal of the wind system. A regional wind associated with the seasonal reversal of the wind system completely reverse, it completely changes its direction. The beauty of this particular monsoonal climate is complete reversal of the wind system. See, the wind system here during the summer season, if you will see, in case of India monsoon, it is, what is this? South, it is called as the southwest monsoon. Southwest monsoon, and opposite to this it will come here as the northeast monsoon. Northeast monsoon. Two types of monsoon we have. Complete reversal of the system here we have. We will look at this, how the ITCZ shift and all these things we will do after this break now. I hope you got some idea. I hope it is clear to all of you. I will give example of ITCZ and doldrum in this particular case. Okay. Right. So, thank you very much. Let us meet after the break. Right. Thank you. Think about this, why it is changing, and we will have a discussion again. Thank you very much. Thank you.